I met a gypsy.
That's just my uneducated opinion.
You can tell Jase doesn't. He likes his orange juice with no pulp.
Ooh. You haven't seen that, have you? No. Go watch it.
And that was just a reference of what you just said about yourself being like an uneducated fan that doesn't
nothing.
go. That doesn't
know nothing.
Apparently.
So we got to find. I got sent this a bunch of times. Ronan hasn't seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I was watching it live.
Were you watching it live?
Yeah, I was watching
Did you
it live.
message me?
Yeah. I was just like, fuck you. Like,
it's going off.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I had a bunch of DMs. You got the sound? Play the sound.
Needs more of that, and we don't know enough of those stories, so that's going to be a big one for us.
Yeah, that'll be great for sure. Just more Pulp MX stuff, less everybody else. All right, so let's just get.
No.
Let's work on that. There's too many.
You guys did. Go ahead.
Too many other shows and people in there. Just cut them, clip them.
Oh, you're talking about the clips that he puts in.
Yeah, the media clips.
Wants it to be all Pulp, no Gypsy Tales, or
none of these other guys.
Whoa.
He hates it.
Is that the post-paper guy?
You gotta go to the fucking races to know what's going on, Hammer. I can't sit here and have a fucking podcast about the Browns and Ravens game because I just watched it on TV and I literally don't know any Browns and Ravens. Like, I can't do that, Hammer.
It was a good game though.
Do you know how many reporters don't
have
go
these guys
to
talking about the sport
sporting
that don't
events
go to
and just watch
races.
it?
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. He's got a fairly decent following in Australia. We now have a couple Australian riders on the program, so he's hitting that demographic for us. We're trying to appeal to everybody, trying to grow the sport one fan at a time. So we'll take any content you give us, but I unfortunately need a few more voices to equal out. So you have your opinions. You're a troll train guy. You're a stew guy, not a hurlings guy. I learned that tonight.
Yeah. What's up with that, Hammer?
I'm a hurlings guy.
I'm
a hurlings guy. He's fast as shit.
Lies.
It didn't sound like you were earlier.
You people.
Lies.
You people are what do it.
You were like that with Troll. You're like that with Troll. You're being a hypocrite.
No, I disagree. I am not like that with Troll.
Straight up, Paul getting in there.
Dude.
He's
I mean, just because Troll's going to
he's a
sweep
legend.
the title doesn't mean I'm like that.
Oh,
what do you got against trolls?
See what I mean? See how he spun it? Now.
Listen,
Alex Martin's gonna say, "Hey, bro, you got a problem with me? Like, why? Like, that's what's gonna happen to me."
No, it's not. No, it's not. Just clip everybody else. Just use Pulp, our co-host. Wygant.
Yeah.
He's trying to give it a global feel. You got to think globally when you're at Red Bull.
I'll talk in an accent, and you can fucking say I'm from Belgium, and then we'll cover that.
That's the problem for me.
What?
So,
Yeah.
How do you know what you're talking about when you just fucking watch it on TV? If you don't go to the races, how do you know what's going on? If you're not in the pits and in the semis and making phone calls, how do you know what's going on?
I like a lot what that guy says.
Thanks, Paul. Pause it there.
I'm not picking on him.
Shout
I'm
out.
picking
You're
on
a G.
all the guys that are.
Steve Matthes is such an angry man.
I know, he's fucking off it, eh? Pause
Such
it
an
for
angry
us.
man.
So.
I'm saying that no disrespect. He even I know Myrtle, everyone's friends with him, but that's an angry man right there.
He definitely was angry. There's a few problems with it. A lot of it is, I guess, tongue in cheek. Like you can't put yourself out there in the way that we do on this show and not expect, and be not okay for people to talk shit. So
no, you dish it just like you take it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So that's not the problem. Stephen A. Smith is probably one of the best journalists in all of sport. Probably one of the best personalities. Joe Rogan doesn't go to that many MMA fights these days.
No.
Sort of sits and does his MMA Fight Companion in the same way that we do Supercross Companion. And so there's one point there. We have so much fucking fun doing Supercross Companion. I don't know if I would want to go to the races anymore. Honestly, it's so much fun sitting in here on the TV, talking shit. You got the whole Gypsy gang in the chat room. There's 400 dudes that sit in the chat room talking shit. Fun as fuck. So that's, first of all, I don't know if I want to go to the races anymore. And I feel like even if I did...
You'd have to at least go to the finisher. Salt Lake or Vegas.
Dude, honestly, this would be the dream scenario for me, right? You go to the races, you watch all the practice, because that's one thing you miss out on. You miss out on the practices and seeing what's going on. All that shit. But that's fun. I miss seeing my friends at the races. But, dude, I would fucking dip after practice and go to the studio, crack some beers, and fucking sit in here and watch the races. That is my choice to watch racing these days.
Definitely.
It is so much more fun than sitting in the fucking stands, having people standing up in front of you the whole time. So there's that.
People yelling, people throwing beers and throwing, "Go Tomac!
Carrying,
Go Tomac!"
Carrying on.
That's Tomac.
I told you, it's my guy. But yeah. So the whole the basic premise of like, you gotta go to the fucking races. You don't need to go to the races.
You really don't.
Also, global pandemic, COVID-19. Not
True.
sure if you've heard of it. No cunt can go to the races.
Especially if you're living in Australia. You can't even leave the
100%.
fucking state, bro. That is ridiculous.
100%.
Isn't it crazy how, like, we can still go to caravan parks where there's fucking hundreds of people in caravan parks, but we can't have a 20-person gathering in our own backyards?
Yeah.
That's what we're facing here. But then he lives in America where they have no restrictions over there, and they're just like, I have so many American friends. Like some of my best mates are American, and they've all either got COVID or they have it right now, and they just don't care. They're just like, we don't fucking care. We're here, dude. If there's one reported community case,
shut down,
dude. The whole country just tips upside down.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think his logic in terms of going to the races is flawed. I think that
it's not factual.
I think that you see a lot on TV, and
you see more on TV than you do at the races.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that, I'm not in the pits mingling and fucking hobnobbing around the pits, but and he says like, you got to make calls to team managers and riders.
No, you don't.
Well, I mean, I'd say that you do, but he also has no idea the people that I talk to. And I'm not out here claiming, like, I don't name everybody that I talk to. I don't, you know what I mean?
Just get a list and just be like, I have these people and name their phone.
Yeah, that's right. That's like, that would be the lame thing to do.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, so I feel like I know enough people. I feel like I've been to enough Supercross races to get the gist. I still call team managers daily, weekly, so I feel like that's cool.
Agents as well.
Agents, so it's like I feel like I'm good on that front. And the other thing is, you run the Pulp MX Fantasy League, which is like, you're trying to promote people who don't go to the races accurately guessing the winners of the races. Well, if you don't know by not going to the races, like, what's the fucking point of fantasy? If you can only know about Supercross by going to the races, then fuck the fantasy. What's the point? We don't know anything.
Yeah, well, the fans can't have a grasp on that.
No, they would never be able to. If they don't go to the races, there's no way they could know anything.
Well, it's the point of without this fucking TV screen right here, we wouldn't be able to see what he said, right? And just like a lot of Supercross fans, myself included, who watch the races on TV. If you were to cancel this piece of fucking electronic bullshit out, there would be you would have to go to the races to watch them, but then there wouldn't be fantasy, there wouldn't be Pulp MX, there wouldn't be Gypsy Tales.
100%.
Like, without this, the sport doesn't grow.
Yeah.
And for you to spend your time sitting here talking about what's going on at the races and behind the scenes only grows the sport. Like, I have friends of mine that ride BMX that aren't in motocross but want to get into it because of like you. And this is what I was literally just going to read. This is why, for anyone that wants to know why I make the content that I make, this comment right here is the fucking reason. I don't even follow moto, but I watch your videos. It helps bring a perspective of another athlete's life. That, and it makes me realize how batshit crazy these guys are. Makes me appreciate my concussions from football. At least I don't remember them or much of anything else. I saw that comment. That's all I want. That's what I want out of this, right? So the sport needs a Steve Matthes that wants to report on like every nook and cranny, and like he's like doing his deep dive research to bring you the most up-to-date, current, factual shit about, and also rumors around the pits and stuff like that. Yeah, that's your job. You do that. You know what I want to do? I want to sit in my fucking studio that I built with my friends, drink beers, smoke weed, and be a fucking fan of a sport that I absolutely love. And hopefully that resonates with other people who don't even watch Supercross, that just see a bunch of boys having a good ass time and want to be involved. So it's just like,
We all got our lane.
Well, that's also two different things, right? Like what you do compared to what he does are two different things. Like you in a studio with your friends drinking beer, smoking weed, watching Supercross is so different to what he does, where he goes in the pits and talks to everyone and finds out the inside gossip and all that. I think that like Steve Matthes is a great journalist, great reporter, but I think they definitely has some bitterness to him, and he definitely needs to, like, imagine if Pulp MX was the only motocross show, and there wasn't any Vital, there wasn't any Racer
you know what?
X,
That's
there
probably
wasn't
the
any
problem
Gypsy Tales.
is that it was for a while, so he kind of did have it.
I think that would mean the sport's dying if there wasn't more than one.
100%.
Like, I think he should be stoked that you have your opinion, he has his. Like, why doesn't he go after Jason Wygant? Like, Jason Wygant has like 4 shows.
Well, and dude, does anybody remember James Stewart doing breakdowns of Supercross?
They need to come back.
Yeah. They can't. He didn't go to the fucking races. He wasn't there. He can't do it. Right?
Case closed.
He didn't go to the fucking races.
Case closed.
I love those videos. Now I can't watch them.
Because he doesn't go. He goes to the fucking races. He's AC's and Chase Sexton's trainer now. He goes to the races.
Then he can talk now. Then he can talk. But yeah, I mean, honestly though, all that shit's fine. That's cool. Steve can think it's whatever that I don't go to the races. That's completely fine.
You don't need to go to the races though.
But that aside, let's say I do need to go to the races.
Then you'd probably go.
Maybe I'll go to the races. But the real problem is when he said, and this is what I don't have a problem with any of this. All this before this comment has just been fucking bullshit. But when he goes, I'll put on a fucking Belgium accent and then I'll do it.
That's fucked.
That's the most like close-minded, shitty comment that you could make about the future of our sport. So what that says to me is like, hey, everybody else that like wants the sport to grow, thinks they could do something cool to like elevate our sport, add something different, fuck off. We're good. See all this? We've got it covered. Fuck off. We don't need... We got a bunch of really good French riders in Supercross. Where's the French podcaster dude?
Yeah, true.
Put that guy in fucking MotoSpy.
Yeah.
If there's a dude that's talking like better shit than me about these guys, put that guy in.
Literally.
This is what makes MMA such a sick sport. Mixed martial arts has one of the biggest online presences of any sport. There is so many MMA podcasts. There's guys that are making clips of podcasts. Their whole channel is dedicated to making clips of other guys' podcasts. Fighters have podcasts. Ex-fighters have podcasts. Fans have podcasts. There's a dude called The Schmo that's a fake character that has his own podcast. He's a fake character. And Dana White is there like dropping like legit championship fights, breaking news to a fake character. Like, and you want to have the attitude of, I'll just put on a fucking Belgium accent and I'll do it. It's like, dude, that's so small-minded. We are doing it wrong. If you think that actually works to grow the sport, it's like, I don't know, how long's Pulp MX been going? 10 years?
Something like that.
It's like, dude, the shit changes, man. Like, the industry changes. Things get better. More people come in.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
a fucking good sign.
But that's
a
also...
rising tide floats all boats. And I think that, like, everything else before that is like, he can say whatever. But to say that... That's, to me, is like what's been wrong with the sport. And that's the thing where I want those messages. If you don't think I know shit about racing, that's fucking fine. Go listen to Pulp if you get more better information about racing. But if my content makes you a fan of a sport that you weren't really a fan of before, that's me doing my job.
Yeah, true.
And then when you grow out of me because I don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to Pulp. I'll just keep trying to convert
where he does fucking ads every 15 minutes.
Well,
he'll stop conversations.
But
and be like,
even that aside,
you know what's going on with XYZ, and then he'll like ask the host, and the host is like, "No, I didn't know that." He'll be like, "You do know they make graphics for all these manufacturers?
But
they're
hey,
great."
Honestly,
I'm like,
good on it. Like,
whatever,
you do your show how you want to do your show. It's awesome. You do a great job, and that's the thing. The sport needs a Steve Matthes for sure.
I agree. It's like Austin Faulkner. Jet Lawrence.
Yeah. But every sport needs that shit.
Yeah,
everyone needs that guy. I just don't want to be that guy. And I don't know whether
Well, you just want to do you, right? Like
just having fun.
You just want to have fun and just, watch fucking Supercross with your friends and just have a good time and not have to deal with bullshit.
And dude, you're an Olympic BMX park athlete that's getting to talk to a massive audience about a sport that you love. Not a lot of people, maybe there's a ton of BMX riders out there that fucking love you because you're one of the best dudes to ever do it, and they didn't really know how much you love Supercross, and they're going to click into some of these clips. They've never really watched Supercross before, and they're going to be like, fuck, maybe, dude, this actually sounds like this Barsha dude's going to be something that's worth watching. Maybe there's some new fans in that. That's what this whole project is. And I don't do just moto, obviously, as you know. On the YouTube, it's pretty much just moto in there. And that's because I'm trying to get these new fans, these weird crossovers. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, long story short, Pulp should do what he's doing.
Yeah,
he does a great job
his
of it.
stuff, you do yours.
Yeah.
You just
but
coexist.
You cannot put on a Belgium accent and think
I think
good.
that's so fucked up.
That to me was such a lame fucking comment. Everything else was sweet. That just shows this narrow focus on the wrong target.
What do you think about it? Obviously he's making fun of you being Australian, but imagine a kid that's from Belgium that wants to go race in the US.
Yeah.
What's wrong with my accent? And thinking going to the US and just going, Steve Matthes already doesn't like me because I'm Belgium. And he made fun of us on the podcast.
That's
just so terrible. And he shouldn't have said that. That's just how American he is, I guess. He's not even American, he's Canadian.
That's the other weird thing.
And that's the weird thing is that he's just I think that's just the American culture where if you're not American, you're foreign.
And imagine,
you know what I mean?
imagine if there was somebody else that said before Steve Matthes moved to America, hey bro, just stay in Canada. I'll speak in a Canadian accent. You're not going to come here and marry a fucking American chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
true.
If someone could have literally said that exact same thing to him, but it's from his ivory tower doing whatever that he's doing, and you've got that attitude. And that's the bummer. It's fuck, dude. It's so close-minded. It keeps our sport in this little fucking box. Hey, if there's some dude in Belgium that's got a fucking dope podcast and wants to talk about racing, put him in MotoSpy. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.